All right, let's begin. Okay, so I'm going to make a small adjustment in terms of what we are covering and things, and this is probably good news for you. So, chapter 6 in the textbook, covers probability distributions, the normal distribution, and the binomial distribution. And looking at this week, I think I will hold off on putting binomial distribution on the midterm. So we will cover the normal distribution, finish covering it today, and that will mark the end of what you can expect to see on the midterm. And then Friday, I will spend some time reviewing just a bunch of the different stuff we've covered. I don't know how much I can do within the time period, but we'll spend some time doing review questions. And then during week 6, on Monday, I will wrap up chapter 6 with binomial distribution. Maybe start getting into chapter 7, and then but the binomial distribution will not be on the midterm exam. Okay. I think there might be a few questions in the homework covering the binomial. I think it's okay to just leave them in there, but we'll do that. And then next week you have the midterm exam, so there's not going to be an online quiz or anything like that. So I think that's okay. I feel good about it. So we will finish the normal distribution. I want to make sure we have a good handle and grasp on this. We'll see how long it takes, and then we'll end that for that. Okay. All right. So just to rewind a little bit, we left off on Monday doing a few examples from the normal distribution. And we went over using the Z table in the textbook. There's the reference tables. I know some of you have calculators that work as well, but this is what I will. I guess all of my calculations will be using the Z table. So, for like the midterm exam, if you want to use your calculator, I'm not going to stop you. But as far as like multiple choice answers, mine will match whatever the Z table outputs, which might be a little bit different from your calculator because your calculator probably keeps a few more decimal places of precision and, honestly, probably more accurate because of that. But I'll make sure all of my answers match the Z table. So anyway, what we did was we said, if you have kind of this general situation, so in this scenario, we said the heights of adult men follow a normal distribution where the mean is some number, the standard deviation is another number. We could ask something like, what's the probability or what proportion of people have heights under, say, 72 inches? What we have to do is we convert that number 72 into a z-score, okay? Z-scores are our distance from the mean, above or below, expressed in standard deviations. So 72 is 2.5 inches above the mean. Each standard deviation is 3 inches, so we're not quite a full standard deviation. We are 5/6 or 0.833 of a standard deviation above the mean. And so, we use the z-score calculation. We get 2.5 over 3, 0.83. That's our z-score. And then to get that value, we go to the table. We look up 0.8, the column 0.03, and we get this number 0.7967. And that's the value here. The things that are important to pay attention to, and this is where people often make mistakes and get tripped up, is you have to look at the wording. here it's saying what proportion are shorter than 72. So we want to get less than 72. We want the area to the left of 72. There could be a question where it says what proportion are taller. If you had taller, then you're looking at values of 72 or higher, and you would want the area to the right. You'd do 1 minus 0.7967. So we have that, okay? We did another example, and I said what proportion are shorter than 71? So shorter means we're going to the left of 71. In our case, 71 is 1.5 inches above the mean. If each standard deviation is 3 inches, then 71 is half a standard deviation above the mean. We look up 0.5, z-score of 0.50. We get 0.6915 in our table. And that's the answer that we have, okay? And this is where we left off on Monday. And so we will continue on from here. And the questions can get a little bit more complicated. So here it says, what is the probability that a randomly chosen adult male has a height? And here we're asking between 71 and 72. So what this means is we want the probability that the height is going to be above 71, but below 72, okay? So between these two heights, that's what we want to know. So the picture we're going to draw is going to look something like this, okay? So here's my normal model. I'm going to put 69.5 here. We're going to go a little bit above, and this is going to correspond to 71. We're going to go a little bit above that, and that's going to give us 72. What I want to do, I want to copy this. Copy, okay. And what we want is we want the area in between. And the way we're going to calculate this is we're going to say the area in between is everything to the left of 72 minus everything to the left of 71. So we're going to take that and we're going to subtract off this portion. Okay, so area between is equal to area to the left of 71, or area to the left of 72 minus area to the left of 71, okay? And so if we do area to the left of 72 minus area to the left of 71, what we will be left with is the area between. Should probably. Okay. So we have these answers from the earlier problems that we did. Okay. So this, the probability that height is under 72, that was our z-score of 0.83. So I go back a few slides and we got the answer 0.7967. So that's this 0.7967. This is better. And then the area to the left of 71 is 0.6915. Okay, and thus the area in between is going to be 0.7967 minus 0.6915. You get 0.1052. And so that's how you get values in between two numbers. Okay. Okay. Let me go ahead and give you your first answer. It's going to be the letter D. D as in dog. First P quiz answer there. Okay. So that's how we go about it. I have this written out. So we find the area to the left and we take the difference is what we're going to do. 0.7967, 0.6915, take the difference, 0.1052. Yes, question.
Answer whether or not the inequality is like less than or equal to or greater than equal to, but just between, like, always be not inclusive.
So in a continuous setting between, yeah, makes no difference whether it's inclusive or exclusive. Generally, in a discrete setting, between is exclusive. You don't include the exact values, but it might, it might say inclusive. So what's the probability someone has between 2 and, I don't know. Let's see. You'd want to be specific. It's a little ambiguous, just plain English language. Between 2 and 5, is that 2, 3, 4, 5, or is it just 3 and 4? So I'll make it clear if there's any confusion. But in a continuous setting, it makes no difference. Yeah, whether it's less than or equal to or just less than. Okay, we have a handful of problems where we need to work backwards, and so I'm going to have you guys work through some of these, and this might eat up some time, but that's okay. I want to make sure we have a handle on this. So there will be sometimes you are given problems where you have to find the corresponding measurement, okay? So in our case, it says, uh-oh. Okay, all right. We have to leave